doing it, or is it this is duo just Brian and I?
Yes.
Why?
Because it's WEi.
What is it? Oh, because we're playing for them.
Yeah!
Fire!
Eventually.
Whoa! Okay.
Yeah, so since you guys will be performing for WEi in an upcoming classical question game episode, I thought I'd show you their latest comeback. This was literally released just like 2 days ago at the time that we're filming this. So lyrically, I did my best to interpret the English translation of their lyrics. I believe they are comparing another person to a canvas in which they offer to like spray paint with the 7 colors of the rainbows, and that person in return can take and choose whichever color they want from those options, and together they will create and become beautiful art. The song is composed by Awoo. Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Give it to us.
OUOW.
Oh.
Oh. Oh.
Oh. That was
That's it.
Oh.
Oh. And the member Daehyun participated in writing the lyrics.
Do I look insane today?
You look in fire.
Do I look insane today? Do I look fine? A little bit.
It's
right?
like a vibe check
Okay.
almost.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Bri.
3, 2, 1. Oh, they're running? I'm ready.
I like that. Almost like third descents. Da, 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 da. Triplet. Oh! That guy, go.
They got some sick
love
bass
it.
lines.
Ah, I love the bass. A sliding bass that kind of like, oh yeah. When it doesn't go along with like a scalar motion, it's just, I love that.
Ooh.
Ba, ba. I like that kind of motive. Ba, ba. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, ba, ba. I like that. That's not really the way you'll count it, but I've been playing a lot of Browns, and so he's kind of like that. Yeah. Oh, really interesting production on the vocal, like arrangement going on there. And the right and the left, it's super like panned and ooh.
Some good vocals. Yeah.
Yes, the and a 2. 1, 2, and I like that a lot. Check out the phone. There's all these triplets. That's fantastic. Yeah. That's so, that shit bops.
I like that.
I'm gonna use a term. They're grubbing.
They're grubbing. On what?
They're just grubbing.
Can you please define the word
So
grubbing?
grubbing is eating, right? So like eating, when you're eating, it's plentiful.
So it's
You're-
just like
you're
the saying
giving
they
yourself-
ate?
Yeah,
They ate, yes.
They ate, but it's just my way
But
of
it's
saying
grubbing.
it. They grubbing. They are grubbing.
They ate.
The
They
rhythms
did the dishes.
grubbing. They left no crumbs. They grubbing.
They moved in. They went there, they moved in, they renovated the kitchen, added a backsplash.
And?
That's it. They remodeled it.
Several bad puns later.
I really liked how it was like intricate in the sense that there was a lot of like layers, a lot of things going on. They had really nice like sound layering with the bass and like the vocals and percussion, but it wasn't overcomplicated. Sometimes I feel like when artists go for that sort of intricacy, it can be like overstimulation and overcomplicated, and you feel like you're just like in the middle of a construction zone and you're like, oh my gosh, fight or flight, I need to leave. But this was like good.
Can you give an example of a specific section in which you're like, there's a lot going on, but also it's easy to follow at the same time?
I thought the bridge was really successful.
Like 219, when like a lot of the bass and percussion drops out and becomes a little more intimate. I feel like that was one example of when they used their like variety to kind of make it so it wasn't too much like overstimulation, but still intricate.
Yeah, it's primarily just voice and a new kind of drowned out electric piano kind of thing going on.
Then they come back with that.
Almost jazz organist. But yeah, yeah, and then they come back with it. But it was just the vocal harmony, and they kind of played with panning it. And it was complicated in the way that they did it, but not overly complicated to the point where we were like, you know, like, whoa. No, it was very well done. But yeah, they did a lot of really cool, like, the rhythms were always kind of shifting around, but in a way that was, so I'll explain something in a second, 1 second. Yeah. So it's 16th rest, 16th rest, 16th, check up, yeah. And then check. So something that's interesting is that can seem complicated, but in pop music, there are things, especially
Ooh, polyrhythms.
like all these polyrhythms or all these like polyrhythmic things that are very natural to us. Like, let's see if I can do something. It's like, you see like how I was like chicka ticka 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 with my fingers were like chicka ticka 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 ticka. There was something different. Like the bass note was going. It was like, and these fingers were going. Right, so it was like polyrhythm, one against the other. So it was like, I can't. 1 second.
So is that an example of something that...
So polyrhythm. So something that they're doing, check up, like things that are complicated rhythmically, or check it, things that happen rhythmically that's like, if you were to put it out on like notation paper, like this is a huge thing that happens like in pop. A lot of it would be like dotted eighth notes against quarters. And it's like, people can't read that, right? But when you actually hear it in pop, it sounds super simple. But something that's so awesome is that, you know, a lot of pop musicians, like what's going on here is that people, they'll do something rhythmically normal that feels right to them because of the way that pop has progressed. But if you put it on notation and paper, it's actually really complicated, like rhythmically, and it's so fascinating. So what they're doing here is so much rhythmic variance. But my favorite thing was that the and of two, if you're taking the big beats, like the and of two was something that was super important to us. Boom. And so that just kept driving it forward, because when you're on an and, especially a weak beat and, so the strong beats are going to be 1 and 3. Weak beats are 2 and 4. So if you have 1 and 2, and that's weak beat. That's like a double weak beat going into a strong beat of 3. So like when you have something like that, it's just like, rah, it's very good.
It kind of propels you forward, I feel like.
Exactly. So it's got a, you know.
I really liked how luscious their vocals were at some points, like during the more intimate moments. It felt very smooth and buttery to me. It felt almost like a nice like chocolate mousse. I felt like I was really grubbing. It also felt kind of nostalgic for some reason. I feel like it just gave like old school boy band vibes sometimes, which I liked.
That's what I felt about this track. It felt like just like almost like a comfortable sound.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, yeah, I know this vibe.
No, for sure. And they also balanced that like those luscious dessert mousse, chocolate mousse moments with like the crazy polyrhythms in the bass.
130, 133, where they hit. But this. It's kind of like a sixth above the B flat, or a third, minor third, just, and they're just resolving to that third. I don't know, it just added a totally different texture, having like that kind of almost like a suspension, like it's pretty, it's really nice, but also because the bass was hitting that B flat. Anytime you have kind of like a non-chord tone going on against a bass, it just adds so much like variety and color. I like these guys. I think they're great.
Excited to meet them?
Yes! I keep forgetting we're meeting them.
Oh yeah.
I like them. Yeah, I like them. They're good. They hit the formula and then went on top of the formula, you know? So I like that. They had a certain...
And they really painted with a lot of colors. Hey. Like they sprayed with a lot of colors.
The production was really good as well. I was just a really big fan of the rhythmic drive, of how it like was consistently like it made me want to keep on listening, and the flow was really good.
And the way they balanced the rhythmic drive and the rhythmic motor with like those smooth chocolate mousse moments. Oh my gosh. Not everybody can do that. Not everybody is that versatile, but they did it without a problem, which is impressive and intriguing at the same time.